Royal shocker. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian wedding is next week. Picture this, the serene elegance of European royalty, traditions passed down for centuries, carefully guarded and never rushed. Royal engagements are usually measured in years, slow, deliberate, carefully orchestrated. But what if I told you that everything you thought you knew about royal weddings is about to be shattered? Because in a move no one saw coming, whispers now confirm that Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark are not just together, they are preparing to wed, and the ceremony is said to be happening next week. But here's the twist that will leave you stunned. This wedding may not be the fairy tale many imagine, it could be the most daring royal gamble of our generation. So how did we get here? And why now? To understand this, we must begin with the connection between two young heirs whose destinies have always seemed parallel but never truly intertwined, until now. Princess Leonor of Spain, the poised future queen, raised under the watchful eye of King Felipe and Queen Letizia, has long been seen as Europe's crown jewel of duty and discipline. Meanwhile, Prince Christian of Denmark, the charismatic heir of Crown Prince Frederik and Crown Princess Mary, carries with him the weight of a monarchy admired for its modernity and warmth. Both grew up in palaces. Both shaped by legacy. Both shadowed by the knowledge that one day, they will ascend to thrones of their own. And yet, behind the glamour and duty, they are still two young hearts, searching for meaning beyond titles. The first question is obvious: how did their paths cross? The answer lies in the quiet corridors of European royal gatherings. For years, Leonor and Christian appeared at the same events: state dinners, royal birthdays, shared holidays in Majorca. What looked to the world like formal, distant encounters were, in truth, moments where glances lingered longer than protocol demanded. The seeds of something deeper were quietly planted. And here is where the story shifts. Because, according to whispers, the two began corresponding privately, letters at first, then messages, then visits carefully disguised as official exchanges. The world saw nothing, but behind palace walls, a young romance was blossoming. By the time Leonor entered her military training and Christian began stepping into the public role of Denmark's future king, their bond had already grown strong enough to withstand the pressures of royal duty. But why rush to a wedding now? Why next week? That is where the curiosity deepens. Some insiders believe the decision was not theirs alone. There are quiet suggestions that both monarchies see this union as a once-in-a-century opportunity, a marriage not just of love, but of strategy. Imagine the symbolism: Spain and Denmark, bound by the union of their heirs, forging a European alliance that would strengthen their thrones for generations. Could this wedding be more than romance? Could it be politics dressed as love? And yet, listen closer to those who know Leonor personally, and another story emerges. They say that in Christian, Leonor has found not only a partner, but someone who understands the isolation of her path. A man who knows the burden of wearing a crown too soon, of growing up under the magnifying glass of nations. Their connection, these sources insist, is genuine, real, pure. The wedding is not a rushed arrangement, it is the inevitable conclusion of a love that could no longer remain in shadows. Still, the palace's silence speaks volumes. Neither Denmark nor Spain has confirmed or denied. And this silence only feeds the storm. Is the wedding truly happening next week? If it is, why such secrecy? Could it be that the families themselves are divided? That behind the grandeur of European palaces, tensions are rising over whether this match should proceed at all? Here lies the beating heart of the story, a clash between duty and desire, tradition and modernity, secrecy and revelation. Imagine the scenes behind closed doors. King Felipe, protective of his daughter, cautious of her every step, demanding assurance that she is not being rushed into a union too soon. Queen Letizia, herself once a commoner who defied expectation, quietly encouraging Leonor to follow her heart. Across the waters, Crown Princess Mary, who once lived this very journey, falling in love with a future king, offering her son advice laced with her own memories of struggle. Crown Prince Frederik, torn between his role as father and as heir, calculating the risks and rewards. And then, the question the world cannot stop asking: what about the people? Will Spain celebrate the sudden union of their future queen with a foreign prince? Will Denmark embrace Leonor as their future queen consort in waiting? Or will there be backlash, whispers of loss, concern that their heir is being swept away into another dynasty? Every royal wedding carries symbolism, but this one carries weight unlike any other. If true, this marriage would mark the first great union of two reigning European monarchies in modern memory. It would bind not only two hearts, but two crowns. But let us not forget the human side. Imagine Leonor, preparing in secrecy, choosing her gown, her heart racing with the knowledge that the world's eyes will soon be upon her. Imagine Christian, balancing the joy of love with the responsibility of proving to his people that this choice is right. Behind the cameras, behind the jewels and the ceremony, they are still just two young people, nervous, excited, hopeful, terrified. And still, the mystery remains. If this is truly happening next week, why has it been hidden until now? Could it be that the announcement will come suddenly, shocking the world, leaving no time for speculation, no room for doubt? A royal shocker, carefully orchestrated to seize headlines, unify nations, and silence critics in one breathtaking moment. Or, more dramatically, could it be that even now, this wedding is balanced on the edge of possibility, one decision, one disagreement, one leak away from unraveling? That is the beauty of this story. Every answer opens another door. Every detail deepens the intrigue. We began with the question of, why next week? But now we must ask, what happens after? If they marry, how will they live? Will Leonor remain in Spain, ruling as queen one day while Christian stands by her side? Or will their union force compromises between two powerful thrones? Could we be witnessing the start of a new European royal dynasty, or the beginning of a political balancing act too fragile to hold? As the hours tick down, one thing is certain: the world is watching. Watching for signs, watching for confirmations, watching for that moment when the truth can no longer be denied. And when the doors of that grand cathedral open, whether in Madrid, Copenhagen, or a neutral ground chosen for its symbolism, the world will finally see what has been hidden in whispers. Princess Leonor, Prince Christian. A royal love story, a royal gamble, a royal shocker. Their wedding, if it truly unfolds next week, will not just be the event of the year, it will be the event of a generation. And when the vows are spoken, when crowns and hearts unite, history itself will pause. Because this is more than a wedding. It is a story that will shape the future of two nations, the course of European royalty, and the destiny of two young heirs who dared to love. The question is not whether this wedding will happen. The question is, are we ready for what comes after? Because once the secret is revealed, the world will never look at Princess Leonor and Prince Christian the same way again.